What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Gizmo Trains. I'm Lawrence, and I wanted to take a minute to give everybody a quick update on the progress of the train room and the layout before the great summer break. So let's check it out. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to again give everybody a quick update on what has happened here in the train room and let everybody know kind of where things are. As some may or may not know, I have other hobbies, other things that I do, and it takes up a lot of time, of course. There's only so many hours in a day, and I am not a die-hard model train foamer. As much as I enjoy this, it is a winter hobby for me. During spring and summer and fall, I race cars. I spend a lot of time out and about in the yard here at the house taking care of things. Normally this is our busy time for my business, and so it's just a lot of stuff happening that unfortunately this doesn't get a lot of attention. Is that to say I won't be up here doing some stuff here and there? No. Probably there'll be some rainy days. There's going to be some randomness to where come up, lay some track, maybe start some scenery. But for the majority, this is going to be it for this year until fall rolls back around. Before we sort of stopped and got into the warm weather, we did get all of the track work essentially done. So that is good news. Able to run trains up here. For the most part, everything is constructed, all the major stuff, all the major wiring. So let me walk you around and give a quick look. Unfortunately, I did slack off a little bit when it comes to finishing up the section back here. I did not take a lot of detailed video, as maybe I should have, as I've done in the previous videos here showing progress, but essentially follows all the same concepts, right? We had to build the bench work. We kind of already shown some of that in a previous video. Some of the stuff like the round table, there's other videos out there that people have done that, so you know, nothing that's new there, but we'll still take a look and see what's gotten done. So of course, all my fur babies are up here. They absolutely love the train room, and every time I come up and open the door, they are first in line to jump up and come up here. So where we left off is we pretty much had gotten the bench work up here done. I do have a few trains here on the layout where things were testing and running. But I believe this is basically where we had stopped, somewhere in this area. So since then, we have completed our wraparound here. We have our main loop to come back around for our inner and outer main loops. And we as well have our round table. So we have a few whiskers here. This here is, of course, the Millhouse River Studios unit. This is a 34-inch. I did opt for the Union Pacific Tower. I did like the way that one looked. Kind of decided to do yellow on the railings. Painted the main hoop here, it's copper color. I think it really just kind of pops, makes it look really nice. Also splurged for, what was this? TX Trainworks building here for hiding the keypad. Wah! So, incognito. This also was a kit, so put this together. This was kind of the first building I've ever built so far, so didn't come out too terribly bad. Painted everything, weathered it, of course, at least lightly, so I'm happy with that. Another thing we did was develop and design our own whisker track gauge. I did splurge on a new 3D printer, and I'm actually going to start offering these for sale. So if you guys are interested in this, I have a few guys that have already picked these up, and I've used that because with this gauge, I can get nice consistent spacing on all my whisker tracks. So everything is exactly the same. So this is a really nifty tool. Now, don't recommend it if you're going to add a roundhouse, because just like everything else that's hand-built, kit-built, could be slight variations. But for all these random whiskers out here that aren't necessarily lining up to anything, it's going to be perfect for it. All right, moving on, we did finish our outer loop. As you can see, as we come down here, we raise up to our second level, because back here, as we've discussed before, we've got two tracks on top of each other. So essentially the loops stack up on themselves to allow us to keep a narrow footprint here, so that when we come up the stairs, we have plenty of walking room, plenty of room to get back here to this corner, to our closet, etc. So eventually this is going to become tunnel sections. Now I did want to, in this area, be, wanted to be kind of different. I didn't want just one full tunnel, but also it required me to do this because it is sort of tight over here. And as we are coming through this curve into the yard or our inner loop, we do have a bit of overhang from stuff like big boys and different things like that, that we're not colliding with anything on this track running. But if we were to try to enclose that area and put a wall here, what's up, Binks, or anything like that, we would run into it, obviously. So with that, we ended up making our own bridge. All of this bridge here is 3D printed. I designed this up based on the exact lengths that I needed to span this gap, which was an odd number, I think like 44 inches, whereas a standard Atlas double is like 40. So yes, we could have maybe shrunk that gap a little bit here, but we also had a curve that I needed to maintain. So a couple of variables there. So we printed this up. Is it exactly to scale maybe in these sections? No, but you know, we'll see. I kind of like it. I think it looks somewhat different. It doesn't, you know, have to always be exactly realistic. It's our railroad that we want. But we did put some steel reinforcements here. I do have this L brace here that's anchored to the wall, so you have lots of support when these engines over. This doesn't flex at all with even the big boy coming over, so that's working real nice. We'll eventually paint that, maybe wall color or black, we'll see. It'll kind of hide it a little bit, or maybe do some landscaping back there, but for now, mint. Binks is showing us the rest of the upper section. Yep, what kind of choo-choo are you, Binks? There's old Tubby butt. All right, enough with the cats. So here we also come back in our loop, but we had this done last time. But we did connect here. We have one tunnel portal back here. That's the start of that lower, so we'll box all that in. And just for fun, we did put a little spur right here. Thought maybe we could put like the hobo box car or something there. We'll see. I figured while we had sort of that real estate, why not add something? So yeah, that's basically an overview. All the main track work is done now. As I said, wired up. I have been running some trains. I have my intermodal here. That's been running just fine. The big boy, everything on this outer loop with that elevation that I have, no issues climbing that. So far so good. I'm pretty happy. I think at this point we could start ballasting the tracks. I've gone through the last few weeks, months rather, testing and running in the evenings when I found problems, fixing them. There's always little minor stuff, things as wiring got put in, rail joints, obviously running this big boy and tender. That was the reason I chose this one a lot for testing. Is this is basically going to be the biggest engine I'm ever going to have, give or take. And so really testing these curves, switches. What I found is that tender with that 12 wheel, 6 truck, or 5 truck rather, I guess it's 10 wheels. Anyway, the spread on that really is the final decision maker on things like switches and curves, because there's quite a few that I had to adjust and move around for that tender to make it without derailing. So highly suggest building a layout, get a big tender, even if you got to borrow one, because at least if that'll make it through, anything will make it through. So let's see a couple of cool new additions. Why not? Let's check it out. So one of those is this from our friend Thomas, from Thomas and His Trains. If you don't know Thomas's Trains, check out his website. He has some awesome stuff, not only just with custom graffiti, but he also does awesome deals a lot of times. He does the TGIF They got his Friday deals. He does a lot of discounts along holidays and different things like that. This one's really cool because I actually won this from Ben's Trains Christmas giveaway. With the votes, I came in runner-up with most progress on the layout, I think. But just to commemorate sort of that win per se, or runner-up, or just being involved with it was kind of neat. I figured why not add Ben's Trains on one side of it. He loves Snoopy, so, and he's also a NASA engineer. Thought it was fitting, little rocket Snoopy there. And then Family Guy was always one of my favorite animated series, so I always liked that FX logo. Came out really, really good. I mean, I don't know if you can get much closer to, you know, what that actually is. I mean, this is all hand painted. That's not printed, so super impressive. Once I get some extra money again, right now I'm trying to behave because I do have a lot of pre-orders out there. I definitely want to get some more of his stuff. He's got some really sweet graffiti containers, if I can speak today, that are really awesome looking, and I really want to grab some of those. So don't worry, Thomas, I'm coming back to you. I got pre-orders with you anyway. So, but we're still actually unpacking trains occasionally. I have all my Aberdeen cars I still got to pull out here. I've still got some stuff down stairs in a closet that needs to get unpacked. Plenty of trains up here on the wall. Eventually, probably going to move those to whisker tracks and maybe get some passenger cars and stuff up here. I mean, I still even got shelving I could be putting up here. I have, obviously, this little corner section here that could be a few shelves. And then eventually, I think, I don't know where we'll put some more, but I mean, even opportunities over on that wall, we probably could put some trains and some passenger cars. Biggest reason I haven't unpacked a lot of it is because, you know, I didn't want to fill this in too much. Still need to come under here and clean up some of the wiring that's dangling down and such, right? But left a lot of this because we were still adding track, doing troubleshooting, doing modifications, but now that's done, that has to be cleaned up and finished. So otherwise, this one was really, really cool. Actually, this was at Illinois Central, and I had a guy from Zach's Discord, Davey Smith, I believe. I've got to double check that. I'll put the correct name down here. Resident Old Boomer, I think is his tag there. But he custom weathered this for me because I didn't really care for Illinois Central. So he covered up that symbol in the front. And it's hard to pick it up on camera, but you can just kind of make out where you can see where it would look like they just kind of painted over. I think they called that like the Death Star because of the way it normally looked. Did sort of this NS patch on it. I love the Operation Lifesaver, so we definitely kept that. But the weathering is really, really good on this. He really did a great job. Zatomo wanted something to also look like turbo fire kind of engine stuff. So you got the rust up here. All this is dripped down. Came out really, really nice. And this engine, he tested for me. It's got like 17 miles on it, scale miles or something. I mean, the thing was brand new. So that was an awesome treat because I just found it at a show and never actually ran it or tested it. I did pick up this C-board too from a guy on Discord, and I have all the passenger cars for that. Felt like it was a good deal, but I really like sort of those real big E units and the C-board. It's a love or hate color scheme, and I don't know, it's so bad, I love it. So here's a look at a few things I'm currently offering for sale. These are all 3D printed, of course. However, they are multicolor 3D printed. So this is not paint. All this is actually the plastic. So you're not going to get any fading, any flaking. This is a nice little 55-gallon drum, simple black. We can do these in different colors. You can see the silver there for the ring, white top. A few pallets. See the nice detail here. Not your typical 3D printer where you see a ton of the layers. This is real fine resolution. Nice texture on top, kind of like wood. This is one of my favorites. This here is a dumpster that has actual opening lids, both sides, as well as wheels. Now the casters, they're sort of a press fit here, so they will rotate, but not freely. But those wheels, as you can see, the detail, black tires with the casters, really neat. Porta potty. Now the door doesn't open, but that may be revision 2. Got a little storage rack here where the pallets can be stacked on top, you know, have a little seam there and something like a roundhouse or whatnot. And these do snap into the holes. I do recommend gluing. I did glue this because it is a fine and it's kind of really messily glued, but it was just a display piece. But these you can adjust wherever you want, up and down, to fit larger, taller stuff. You don't have pallets. So a few of those examples. And then of course that gauge again, as you can see, it's a different color. We can do multiple different colors if you care. If not, we can do whatever. But also with that multicolor printer, we can have stuff like those letters pop out and be a different color. So if you're interested in this, shoot me an email. I'll put that here on the screen. Right now we're selling these at $30 shipped. That's priority. And these here, oh, we're also doing the cones. I'll show that real quick. These right here. These are really, really cool too. Little safety cone, but again, the neat thing is, if I can get it to focus, come on folks, focus. There we go. Is we have the black on the bottom, the white rings. That's all 3D printed, not painted. So yeah, shoot me a message. As far as pricing on these, it depends on the quantity you want. I'm generally going to sell these cones in probably like a 5-pack. The rest of them will be single, maybe pallets. We'll do 2 or 3 in a pack. Maybe barrels, 2 in a pack. So let me know. Hit me up, email or on Instagram at Gizmo Trains, and I also plan for this gauge to have one soon for spacing parallel tracks like this. That way you can get nice straight rails all the way down. We can do a standard sort of 3.5 or something like these Ross 4-ways, and I can do like a 4.5 and a 4, give people options depending on what they want. So because I actually need to do it so I can actually go down here and straighten some of that out. It's not too bad, but it's just a little bit. And with that gauge, we can kind of go down, tighten, go down, tighten, go down, tighten, so everything stays nice and straight. So stay tuned on that. We're going to have that very soon. These are a couple of new maintenance additions. Santa Clarita Railroad.com. So Eric Siegel from Eric's Trains actually posted about these a while back, and of course already Mr. Binks has decided he wants to chew on these. Can't have nothing nice. I guess I need to hide these. But these are really, really nice foam pieces to put the engines and rolling stock in. For example, we just grab this one if I need it to, you know, take this apart and work on something. Nice and stable, nice rubber feet on the bases. It doesn't want to move around on you while you're working on stuff. And they do have a few holes there if you want to put your tools, but these are really, really super nice. They have them for multiple scales. So I went ahead and got 2 of them, as Eric suggested. Is really nice if we have a long engine, you can butt those together, something like a big boy flipped over. So if you don't have something like this already, and you're serious about the hobby, grab it. They're relatively inexpensive considering the benefit you get from it, but I really, really like them. So that's pretty much it for now. I appreciate everybody joining. Real quick for this quick update, I've had a few people on Instagram sort of hit me up and say, hey, where's the update? When's the next video? And I know I've been slacking a little bit, but I did want to quickly give everybody an update and show where we are. And, you know, let you know again that unfortunately, this will probably be it until likely October, honestly. Summer is just a super busy time for me with everything else out in the world. We got warm weather here in the south and I want to be outside. So again, times will pop up, rainy days and different things will probably, you know, the biggest thing next is going to be kind of finishing this round table area, getting the rest of the whisker tracks laid down. I do have an engine house here, an engine stall I need to finish putting together to figure out where I want to put that, stuff like that. And then we'll start putting some buildings, some scenery out. And maybe I'll do a video here and there if we get something cool in. I'm still waiting on Third rail E-units. I have one on order there coming. That should be soon. Their mollies are coming. I have the Winston-Salem Southern or southbound coming. I think Jay said that was one of 3 that were ordered, so that's gonna be cool. The caboose from Berkshire Station should be arriving sometime soon to match that. I'm really excited for that one. And then, you know, lots of Lionel pre-orders coming. I did cancel a few things. Maybe I'll pick them up if I decide to get it. You know, I originally was going to get that big superset for Santa Fe. I did cancel it because just Lionel passenger cars just haven't been that impressive. Jay just did the Santa Fe set. I think now they've all sold out. I came real close to ordering them because they did look super nice. But I have the Union Pacific ones coming for the big boy, for the Heritage. And so those I'm excited. I already have some coming. So, you know, it's balancing a budget. I'm building a new race car, so I have to sprinkle that money everywhere. And some you gotta, I guess, per se, rob Paul to pay Peter. So some of the train stuff, not everything, I've pulled back a little bit on to fund some other projects because, again, you gotta balance in life. However, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. There will be stuff coming, I promise. Not as frequent as winter. But if you don't already, that's another time to say, follow me on Instagram. I do post there a little more often than YouTube. It's just easier, faster, obviously, with some posts, some reels. Check that out if you don't already. Otherwise, I do appreciate everybody who does follow along in my adventures here. Promise more content will be coming, just a little slower these months, as I said. But otherwise, thanks again. If you don't subscribe to the channel, consider, even though I just told you, it won't be too much for a while. But thanks for watching, as always, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.